Students, last time I had given you there were just two sums, in fact three, 10 and 11 of homework. So we'll see that these are simple sums, so I expect that you would have done it. Now see, firstly I would like to say that in June we will be having Zoom sessions. We are already having Zoom sessions with 10th standard. In addition to this video lectures, we will be conducting live Zoom sessions in which we will be revising these topics. So there may be some sums given to you and you will have to solve and share the screens with me. So I will see how you are doing the sums. So then finally I will put the answers of those sums also when we do this. So there will be a test of congruency and isosceles triangles and even compound interest. So when you have the test of congruency, compound interest and isosceles triangles, we will do those three chapters revision. So there will be revision class in which you will ask your doubts, clarify your doubts, and also I will give you some sums so that I can see what is happening. Because considering the present situation, we do not think that before July any class would be there where students are allowed. So anyway, that may be only in the end of July, I guess. So let's see, till then we will be having the Zoom sessions. We've already started it. We have it going on for standard 10 and we are also taking tests, online tests, and those papers we are correcting and returning it to standard 10. So same will happen to you after June 10th. So right now, question 10, first part. You are asked to find angles A and B. The angles marked A and B. You are given that AC is equal to EC and AB is equal to this, AB is parallel to CD. So first of all, since these two sides AC and EC is equal, therefore the base angles, angles CAE and CEA are both X. So you can call those two angles as X here. This angle here and this angle here will be X. So X plus 68 is 180. So you will get X is 56 degree. So the angle X is 56. So by linear pair, you will get 180 minus 56, that is angle A. So angle A is 180 minus 56, that is 124. Then you have triangle ABE. In triangle ABE, you already got this angle now as 124 and 14 is given. So you can find angle ABE. By angle sum property, the three will add up to 180. So therefore you will get that angle ABE as 42 degree. You've got ABE as 180 minus 14 minus 124, that is 42 degree. So now this angle, if you have got this as 42, then angle ABE and angle this B, that is BCD, they are alternate angles. Why? You have got this way. These two lines are parallel lines. This angle at B, you just now got, it is 42 degree. So this is also going to be the small b will also be 42 degree because that forms alternate angles. So that's how you will find your angle A and angle B for 10 question number 1. 10 question number 2 is extremely simple. Mark it important because it's usually very simple sums that are asked in the February board exams. So you have already been given in the figure that AD is equal to AE. That is marked in the figure. So those two base angles, since AD and EE are equal, the two base angles ADE and AED are both going to be equal, both are X. So both those angles are X. So therefore these two angles by linear pair, it would be 180 minus X. So they both are equal, they are both 180 minus X. So we have written that if you take these two triangles, that is triangle ABD and triangle ACE, in those two triangles you can prove them congruent by A, S and this 2 180 minus X, that is A. So you are proving the two triangles congruent by ASA test. So here you have proved it congruent by ASA test. So therefore, what is equal? The corresponding sides BD and EC will be equal. So your A is equal to 3B, A is equal to 3B, and AB is equal to AC. So 2A plus 2 is equal to 7B minus 1. 2A plus 2 is 7B minus 1. So now you can solve these two equations simultaneously. You can use substitution method and directly substitute A is equal to 3B. So instead of A, I have written 3B. So therefore you will get, when you solve, 6B plus 2 is 7B minus 1, or B is 3 units. So once you got B, A is 3 times B, so it is 3 into 3 or 9 units. You've already got in step number A that A is equal to 3B. So since B is 3, therefore you will get 3 into 3, that is 9 units. That's how you solve that sum. You can solve the second part that way. Now there is one more homework sum which I will show how to do that. In the last homework sum, this is the 11th homework sum of isosceles triangle. In this particular sum, it is given that equal sides AB and AC of triangle ABC, they are produced. So first of all, AB is equal to AC and they are produced forward. So let's say this is E and this is F. So EBC is an exterior angle of triangle ABC, and FCB is also an exterior angle of triangle ABC. So actually in this case, this is an exterior angle and this is another exterior angle. So this exterior angle is 180 minus x, because those two angles we have taken as x. And this exterior angle will also be 180 minus x, because those two sides we have taken as x. Those two angles are taken as x. So by linear pair, this is 180 minus x, that too is 180 minus x. Now you are given that the bisectors of these two exterior angles. So the bisector of this angle means this part and this part are equal. And the bisector of the angle, exterior angle at C, that bisector means this angle and this angle, they are equal. So actually, since the basic angles, exterior angles are equal, all these four parts are equal. And each of those four parts will be 180 minus x upon 2. So the bisectors of those external angles meet at point D. That is what is given, that the bisectors meet at D. Prove that AD bisects angle A. So if you join AD, when you join AD, you have to prove that AD is going to bisect. That means you have to prove these two angles are equal. As I told you earlier also, bisector does not mean perpendicular. Bisector means just divided into two equal parts. If it is angle bisector, it divides the angle into two equal parts. If it's a bisector of a side, it means that side is divided into two equal parts. The word, no word called perpendicular bisector is mentioned in this. So basically, we have a common side, we have this and this also. So now you are going to take these two triangles, that is triangle ABD and triangle ACD. So basically what we have to prove, that this part and this part is equal. So your angle ABD, if we can prove angle ABD is equal to ACD, which is very easy. It will be x plus y. So if we can prove that, then you have S, but there is no ASS test. So you can use this, both sides are equal, and then because you can prove these two sides equal, because these two base angles are y, so you can say SSS test. So by SSS test, you can prove the two triangles ABD and ACD are congruent. And because they are congruent, the corresponding angles will be equal. So I will write on the steps after this. You can copy these steps and see whether you have done it rightly. And Otherwise you can copy it if you didn't get the answer. But you will have to revise these sums occasionally so that you remember it. So the explanation of this is you've got AB is equal to AC. So the base angles ABC and ACB are equal to X. So by linear pair you have EBC is 180 minus X and FCB is also 180 minus X. That's what is written in steps 3 and 4. Therefore EBC and FCB are equal. The entire angles are equal. Now you have DBC is half of EBC. Reason, you have been given that BD bisects angle, the exterior angle. So that means BD is bisecting angle EBC. So that is what is written, BD bisects, that is given. Same way, out there DCB is half of exterior angle FCB. So therefore you have DCB is 180 minus X upon 2. It's given that CD bisects angle FCB. And you were given that the exterior angles, the bisectors of the exterior angles, that is this and this angle, they meet at point B in the question. So that's why you have got angle DBC and DCB, they are both equal from the previous two steps, that is 6 and 7, both is 180 minus X upon 2. So because those two angles are equal, therefore their opposite sides, that is BD and CD, will be equal. So now you can use the two triangles ABD and ACD and then prove that the two triangles are congruent because AB is equal to AC, BD is equal to CD, which you just proved, and AC is common side. So since the two triangles are congruent, therefore the last step you will have to write is angle BAD is equal to angle CAD, that is CPCTC, that is AD bisects angle BAC. You are asked to prove this. AD bisects angle BAC. So that's the homework sums which I had given last time. That completes, I've solved all the homework sums of isosceles triangle and congruency for you. Now we have got a couple of classwork sums left which we will complete now. See, question number 13 of classwork. It's a little lengthy. So generally such sums are never asked in the boards which are lengthy. It's not very complex, it is simple. So we will see the sum. You are first of all given that ABC is an equilateral triangle and each side is 15 centimeter. So ABC is equilateral, so angle A, B and C, all three will be 60 degree and all the three sides are equal and each of them is 15 centimeter, that is given. Then you are given that DE is parallel to BC, DE is parallel to the base BC and DF is parallel to AC and FG is parallel to AB. So basically if DE and BG are parallel and BD and GE are parallel, that means both the opposite pairs of sides are parallel in quadrilateral BGED. So BGED is a parallelogram since both the opposite pairs of sides are parallel. Now the angles I have marked in green will also be 60. Why? See, now this line and this line are parallel, so these both are corresponding angles. Angle ADE and angle ABC are corresponding. Similarly, angle AED and angle ACB, these two angles, they are also corresponding angles. Already this marked in red are 60 because it is given ABC is equilateral. So same way this angle, that is angle B, and angle EGC, they are corresponding angles, these two angles. The reason is GE is parallel to AB. And also this angle marked in green, that is DFB, and angle C, they are corresponding angles because DF is parallel to AC. So now you will see, okay, the big triangle is already equilateral. This triangle is also equilateral because all the three angles are 60 degree. If two angles are 60, obviously the third will be 60, so we need not write that. So we can say that BDF is also equilateral because two angles are 60 degrees, so the third angle will also be 60. So that is why I have mentioned here. Same way in this also, you have shown two angles are 60, so automatically GEC will also be 60. You need not write that step, already the sum is very lengthy. So you can say two angles 90, so this is 60, so that is also 60. So you have this triangle BDF, GEC and ADE. All the three of them are equilateral. So if this sort of the same sum comes, then you have to first prove, first of all, the big triangle is given equilateral. So you will have to prove this triangle ADE, BDF and EGC. All the three are equilateral like the big triangle. So now in this, you have been given that this side, all the three sides are 15 centimeter each. So what is AB? AB is actually AD plus BD. AB is AD plus BD, that is 15. So now instead of AD, you are writing DE. Why? Because AD and DE is exactly same. You have already proven those two triangles are, that triangle is equilateral. Similarly, instead of DB, you are writing DF. So those two sides are also equal, and already that is also same AB. You just replace AD with DE and you have replaced BD with DF. So you can say that DE plus DF is same as 15 centimeter. But now one more thing is given, that DE, DF and EG is 20. But already you showed DE plus DF is 15. So this EG will be 20 minus 15, that is 5 centimeter. So you have got EG is 5 centimeter. If EG is 5 centimeter, you can say that BD is also 5 centimeter because you can write this is a parallelogram. If this is 5 centimeter, that means this base is also 5 centimeter because it is equilateral. Same way, since this was 5 centimeter, this base is also 5 centimeter because this triangle EGC is also equilateral. So now you've got this is 5, and the entire BC is already given as 15. So 5 plus FG plus 5 is 15. So you will get FG is 5 centimeter. So finally you are asked to find FG. So all the steps have been written. As I told you, such lengthy sums are not asked in exams generally. The exams they ask 8 to 10 step or 12 step sums. These lengthy sums are not asked, and I will also not ask this in my test because I generally tend to stick to just what is asked in the boards or just one step more than that, not something which is very lengthy. So next we are left with two more sums. We will do that right now. Now such sums are asked. This is a very important sum. Very simple, very important. So here, first of all, figure is not given. You are told that there is a triangle ABC, and in triangle ABC, D is any point on BC. D is a point on BC such that AB, BD, DC and AD, all those four sides are equal. That is given. So D lies on BC, that is given, and D is such that AB, AD, BD and DC are all four sides equal. So you are asked to show that this angle ADC is to angle C, this angle, that is in the ratio 4:1. So now, since these three sides are equal, so this triangle ABD is equilateral. So all the three angles of triangle ABD will be 60 degree. So by linear pair, we can say that ADC will be 180 minus the 60, so it is 120 degree. So we can easily prove ADC is 120. Then you go to triangle ADC. In this angle is already 120 and those two angles will be equal because already AD is equal to DC. So we will consider them as x each. So x plus 120 is 180. So when we solve it, we get x is equal to 30 degree. So these two angles are 30. So the ratio of ADC is to angle C is 120 is to 30 and 120 is to 30 is 4 is to 1. So such sums will and can be asked. So now figure is not given in the last question of isosceles triangles. You are supposed to draw the figure. You are given that in triangle ABC, the bisector of angle C meets AB at point X. So first of all, this line CX is dividing the angle ACB into two equal parts. So angle ACX and BCX is equal to Q. So given it's bisecting. CX is bisecting angle ACB. So that is already mentioned. Then you are also given that point X is such that AX is equal to AY. So if AX is equal to AY, that is also given in the question. So those base angles AXY and AYX, they are both equal. So both of them are P. So now if you consider this angle, how much will be this angle? Obviously this is a linear pair, so this will be 180 minus P. So angle AYC will be 180 minus P. And same way, what will be angle BXC? BXC will also be 180 minus P because it is linear pair with this angle, this plus this is 180. So now you are getting that in these two triangles, this triangle and this triangle, both are Q and both these angles are 180 minus P. So if two angles of a triangle are equal, you can easily use angle sum and say that this angle and this angle is also same. That is angle CAY is equal to angle ABC or in fact XBC. XBC and ABC is one and the same. So that's how we will be proving this sum. I will write down the steps. So now the steps are shown here. First of all, angle ACX and BCX are same. Both are, let's say, Q because CX bisects angle ACB. That is given. Then you are given AX is equal to AY. So the base angles, that is AXY and AYX, AXY and AYX are both equal to P. So here you can take linear pair and write AYC is 180 minus angle AYX, that is 180 minus P. So that is what is written. AYC is 180 minus P. Similarly, these two are linear pair. So we can say that angle BXC is 180 minus angle AXY. So that is 180 minus P. So you have got both these angles AYX and BXC are equal. But now we are taking this triangle first. In this triangle, this AYC plus ACY plus YAC, the three angles add up to 180 degree. So instead of AYC, we have substituted 180 minus P because we got that in step number 4. And instead of ACY, we got Q, that is in step number 1. So there we can mention from 1 and 4. Here you can write from step 1 and 4. That's the reason for step number 7. 180 and 180 on both the sides of equal to will cancel. So you get angle CAY shifted there. So minus becomes plus and plus becomes minus. So it is P minus Q. Then you have triangle, the bottom triangle, that is BXC. In that also use angle sum property. you will get the sum of all three angles is 180. So XBC, we have to find XBC plus this 180 minus P, which you have got in this step, that is step number 5, and Q, which was step number 1, you substituted here, and that is equal to 180. So angle XBC is P minus Q. So therefore CAY and XBC are same. So CAY and XBC are both equal to P minus Q. So CAY, XBC is nothing but ABC. So instead of XBC we can write ABC. CAY and ABC are equal. That's the proof. With that we finish isosceles triangles totally. As I told you, now we will start with a new chapter, area and perimeter of figures. So that chapter, Mohammed Scottish has done the last part, that is only circles. So I will start with the first two parts, because anyway you will be having that in your terms. For the 8th final you are only supposed to have the C part, that is circles. But we will do the rest of the chapter also. And I think Gopal Sharma has also started that in the school. So we will go on to that. We will start with the formulae of part A. So now we will start with chapter 19 in your Anish tutorial textbook. That is perimeter and area of plane figures with part A. That is triangles. Now because we are starting triangles, perimeter and area, let's be very clear about what is the base of a triangle and what is the height of the triangle. When you are given a triangle, some people may think that only AB is the base because it is lying on AB. So some students may consider only AB as base, but it is not like that. Height or altitude of a triangle is the perpendicular drawn from any vertex to the opposite side. So perpendicular from a vertex to the opposite side is height. So that opposite side is called the base. So in a triangle there can be 3 bases and 3 different heights or altitudes. Another word of height is altitude. So let's consider one triangle only 3 different cases. It is the same triangle ABC. So if this triangle ABC, I am taking vertex A first, and from A I am drawing a perpendicular to BC. So now since AD is perpendicular to BC, the side of the triangle BC is considered as the base. And from the opposite vertex to that base, that perpendicular, that is AD, is called the height. So area of the triangle, you all know the formula, it is half base into height. So in this figure, you can see area of the triangle is half, base is BC and height is AD, BC into AD. So in this case, we took BC as the base and AD as the height. That is one case. Second case, the same triangle I have redrawn, triangle ABC. Now in this case, I am considering AC as the base. Now unfortunately there, from B, I can't draw angles 90 degree directly on AC. Because all those angles, when you know, if you draw B to here, that angle will be an acute angle. Same way out here, that will also be an acute angle. So if I need a right angle, I have to extend CA and then draw BE perpendicular to CA produced. So now from B, I am drawing a perpendicular not just to CA, but I have extended CA, and it is to that extended line that BE is perpendicular. So now BE is called height and CA is the base. BE is height and CA is base. Why? Because from this vertex you have drawn a perpendicular to the opposite side produced. So the side of the triangle will be the base, and that perpendicular to that side or that side produced will be the height. So in this case you can say area of triangle is half base into height, so it is half into CA into BE. Now what is this in that triangle? Same. So let's assume this area was 100. So 100 centimeters squared, so this is also 100 centimeters squared. Because finally These are the same triangles. Whichever side, half, base and height, base, it depends on which side you are taking, and perpendicular to that will be the height. So same way there is a third possibility. First I drew the vertex, I took vertex A and drew the perpendicular. Then I took the vertex B and drew the perpendicular. So that was the second height. Now I am going to take vertex C of that same triangle ABC, and from C I am drawing a perpendicular to BA, but it is not directly to BA, again it is BA produced. So base will be only BA, base is not BF. Base is BA, the side of the triangle is the base, and that height in this case will be CF. So we can say that same area of the same triangle, which let's assume it is 100 centimeters squared, that is also half AB into, in this case, CF, which is the height, half base into height. So a triangle can have three different sides as the three different bases, and corresponding to that they can have three different altitudes. So that's what is written here. Hence in a triangle there can be three different bases and three different altitudes. So this is the first part. I will write some more formulae. So now we have another formula other than area of triangle is half into base into height. We can use the Heron's formula. What is Heron's formula to find area of triangle? You have a triangle ABC. It's just any triangle. Usually in a triangle, opposite the angle capital A, the side, that is in this case side BC, will be denoted by small a. So opposite big A, that is the angle, there will be side small a. Same way opposite angle B, angle big B, there will be side small b. And opposite angle capital C, there will be side small c. So what is the perimeter? It is the sum of all the three sides. Perimeter is length of adding up all the sides. In case of circle, it is called circumference. It is not called perimeter. But in all other figures, if it is a square, it is adding up all the four sides of the square. So in triangle, it is A plus B plus C. That is the perimeter, sum of all sides. So semi means half the perimeter. Semi-perimeter is perimeter upon 2. Semi-perimeter is denoted by small s. So small s is A plus B plus C, that's the perimeter, upon 2. Now as per Heron's formula, area of this triangle is, this means area of triangle ABC. It is square root of S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. So this formula can be used for any triangle. I have not specified this is equilateral, isosceles or acute angle. You can use this formula. If all the three sides are given, we can find the semi-perimeter and then directly use Heron's formula and find the area of triangle ABC. That is, if all three sides are given and you don't know any height. No height is given, so we can't use half base into height. We will have to use Heron's formula. Now, there are two special triangles. One is isosceles triangle. You have just finished the chapter of isosceles triangle. So you know that if AB is equal to AC, then angle ABC and ACB are called the base angles. And the angle at the top is called the vertex angle. So angle BAC is vertex angle. From the vertex angle, if I draw a perpendicular to the base, AD perpendicular to BC, then in isosceles triangle and also in equilateral triangle, the perpendicular from the vertex will bisect the base. It will bisect the base. So BD will be equal to DC and that will be half of BC. So this you have to remember, because this property that the perpendicular from the vertex will bisect the base in isosceles triangle, and same thing in equilateral triangle, that can be directly used in sums. So if you know the base, then you can find that each part is half the base. That is, BD is equal to DC is BC upon 2. Equilateral triangle, same thing. If, of course, in equilateral triangle all three sides are equal. So A. So that base will be BD is a by 2 and CD is also a by 2. And in this case, there is a special formula for area of equilateral triangle, that is root 3 upon 4 side squared. Side is A, so root 3 upon 4 A squared. So just revise these formulae what you have learned today. Next week, mostly on next Monday, I will be uploading the next set of videos in which we will start with this chapter. No homework in maths this week, so you can revise and learn your geometry as well as go through this formula before we start the next video session on this chapter. Bye.